When everything is fine in a relationship, then the world around us seems happy and kind. But when the relationship goes south, then everything around begins to collapse, especially if the decision to leave is not mutual. This story was sent to us by one of our subscribers who wished to remain anonymous. He wrote his story so that people will think carefully about their relationships. He is upset with her actions and wants to convey to other girls that they should not act like her. He also wants to help other guys so that they do not act like he did in the situation. In order not to accidentally change the meaning of his story, we decided to leave everything as it is and read you his letter verbatim. Good afternoon. I always watch your stories. Many of them really touch my soul, make me think, and thanks to some of them, have taught me many things. I decided to write my story for you so that maybe someone would think about their relationship and not make the same mistake my girlfriend and I did in ours. We met many years ago at a party with mutual friends. This girl was prettier than anyone I had ever seen before. Her smile immediately struck me, and I realized that I fell in love with her instantly. I courted her for a long time, gave her flowers and gifts, and tried to do everything so that she felt happy and confident for our future. Over time, she also began to have feelings for me, and we decided to move in and live together. It was a wonderful 9 years of our life. We were always on the same wavelength. We did everything together, walked, read, developed as people. We sincerely enjoyed our life, and one day I realized that I wanted to spend my whole life with this girl. I had been choosing a ring for her for a long time. I wanted it to be beautiful and special. When I finally chose one and bought it, I proposed to her that very evening. She agreed immediately without even thinking about it. When 2020 came, its quarantine brought great changes to our relationship. Before that, although living together, we parted to go to work. We had enough time to start missing each other, and after a long day, reunited with each other in the evenings. But that year changed everything. We were together all the time in our apartment, and all our weaknesses began to expose themselves. It seemed that our relationship was not so strong after all. We would often quarrel over small and meticulous things. I left an unwashed cup. She left her magazines on the couch. It was too hot or too cold. In a word, our relationship was souring, and for some time we stopped communicating with each other at all. We simply lived silent in a small apartment together. Somehow, one day, we again started arguing about something trivial, and our verbal banter turned into a real fight. Then something happened that I simply did not expect and was not ready for. She took off the ring that I gave her and threw it at me with the words, "You can leave if you don't like living like this." I was simply taken aback. I did not expect that our relationship, which had lasted for so long, now could end in an instant. So I packed my things and moved out of the apartment, full of anger and resentment. Some time passed, my emotions faded, and I realized that I loved her very much, no matter what our issues were. I called her and asked to talk. She said that she couldn't that day, so I would call her again the next day, and then the next after that. Eventually, the news reached me that she was dating someone else, but I did not want to believe this nonsense. We had broken up quite recently. She couldn't have had time to find someone already. The next day, I called again and went to the apartment to talk. She was sitting in the kitchen, drinking tea, and was aloof and distant. I talked to her for a very long time about how I regretted how everything had turned out, how much I loved her and wanted to start over. She listened to me for a long time, then said that she still had feelings for me, but she couldn't live together again for now. She accompanied me by kissing me on the cheek, saying that she needed some time to recover. I left full of hope that everything would work out for us, but I did not want to leave right away. I got into my car in front of her house and kept thinking that everything would be fine with us and everything would be great. Then another car drove up to her house, and a man with a bouquet of flowers was sitting in it. About half an hour later, my girlfriend ran out, all dressed and made up, and with a smile on her face, she jumped into his car. They kissed and drove away. I immediately called her phone, but she did not pick up for a long time. When she finally answered, she said that she had already gone to bed. I was so angry with her, she deceived me, and even in such a brazen way. I stayed in the car outside her house to talk to her when she returned. I sat all night, but she did not come back. In the morning, I dialed her number to find out where she was. She replied that she was still very tired and needed rest. I said that I had come to her house and wanted to enter, but she replied that she was not ready to meet me and that I should leave. How painful and offensive it was to hear these words. I left and spent the rest of the week at home. During this time, I began to analyze all her actions. She deleted all our photos from social media when we were together. She had been a stranger lately, but she never once told me that it was over. She gave me hope and at the same time had been dating someone else. I once again came to her to sort things out, but she, as before, only asked for time to think and sent me home. Only then did I realize that if I didn't break off this relationship, then she would continue taking advantage of me, constantly keeping me hopeful and putting this conversation off indefinitely. I firmly decided that I would no longer call her and would not seek her attention. For several weeks, I stayed at home, unable to find the strength to start a new life. I was so worried about the break in our relationship. During this time, she never even called or checked on me through our mutual friends to ask how I was doing. Then one morning, I opened my eyes and looked out the window. The sun was shining brightly, the sky was clear and beautiful, and I realized that life does not stand still. It goes on no matter what. I decided that I wouldn't spend another minute pining over her, but would start a new, wonderful life. I wrote all this so that girls understand that they shouldn't give their relationship hope if there is none left. If you are in a relationship with another person, be honest about it. Don't take advantage of them. Someone who has spent so many years with you just deserves a truthful answer from you. They say it is better to hear the bitter truth than to indulge oneself with empty hopes and listen to sweet lies. People deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, even if the two of you are no longer together. Friends, write your opinion in the comments. Do you think the couple in this story could have worked things out if they had been honest with each other? What do you think about it? If you enjoyed this story, click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so as not to miss our new videos.